Hey everybody, welcome to another Age of Grogu, and I've got me Elijah and Jason. Hey guys, how's it
Hey,
going?
hey, it's
It's
going.
been about 2 weeks since we were on last, but what's been going on? What's anything interesting, anything cool or new that you've checked out, watched, anything like that?
Um, watch that new Kendrick Lamar video.
Kendrick Lamar, I don't know who
That
that
diss
is.
track for Drake. They filmed it near my neighborhood,
Okay,
but it was like a big deal. Yeah, man, it's I mean, all his music videos are just like so well done. I
right.
always thought like most of them, I guess, like really artful and well directed. But
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you guys.
It's nice that they're still doing. I mean, I haven't seen it, but it's just nice that they're still doing good, well done music videos.
Yeah, this still has like the same kind of like attention that they used to get, like music videos are still being made and all, but like
Yeah, they just
it was a
show
huge
them, and
deal.
people see them in different ways.
To get
But like,
hit the record for like the
Hey
most
Malloy.
what up, Malloy? Hit the record for like the most views of a male rap artist
Okay,
in a day.
okay,
oh nice.
It
cool.
took over Eminem's record
Uh-huh,
for like most views, but yeah, man, it was cool. It's just cool
cool.
seeing like the neighborhood and
Right.
like
Your neighborhood.
join
Yeah.
joining together. He
Oh
he
yeah.
unites people the way that no one else in his music history ever does, and it's all
Right.
like for like a Drake diss. It's good stuff, man. We're
Were you
really
not there when did they film this video? You were around
they
when
filmed it around like Juneteenth. He did that concert
Oh
on
well.
Juneteenth that
Yeah.
was like people were going nuts about, and then he filmed a video in between then and now, and it was released on July 4th.
Right. They shoot a lot in your neighborhood, though, don't they? So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But it was funny. People are joking like, since it's a roast at Drake, it's like, what better way to celebrate the 4th of July than roasting a Canadian?
That's funny. That's
But yeah,
cool. Cool.
that and new season of The Bear.
Oh
You
yeah.
guys watch at all?
I haven't
when it,
started yet. No. How's season the three,
wait,
isn't it? Or was it season
Third season.
third?
all episodes are up. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
full.
They release them
Okay,
all at once.
yeah,
Okay.
It's not the strongest season.
Okay.
I have my issues with it. They're letting the facts like ad lib too much.
All right.
And it's like, all right, fine. Like that one from last season. There's that Christmas episode
Hey,
with
Anchorman.
oh cool, and
Cool.
right. Where they're just
yeah, the Christmas episode where like they introduced both of the facts, and then like
right.
they had nice banter with each other. So I think they're
Hmm.
kind of milking that. They're like, you know what, that tested well. Let's bring his brother into the restaurant, and there's just so much of that. I think there's just
Right.
so much ad lib going on
Yeah.
that it's kind of like, the
Distracting or
difference between like Iron Man 1 and Iron Man 2,
right.
Yeah.
and like the banter that they have is just
Hmm.
over the top. It's just like,
Yeah.
right, come on, you guys kind of need some guidance in the script or from the
Right.
director where they let them do their thing. That's what it
Yeah.
feels like
A
to me.
little less.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Fair enough.
But yeah, that and what else? Just finished me and Liz just finished watching all of Girls 5 Eva,
Okay.
which is a really funny show. If you got like Tina Fey and 30 Rock, it's like their
What
current show.
where is that on?
It's on Netflix.
Hmm.
Multi Emmy Award winning comedy right now. If
Okay.
you like 30 Rock or Kimmy Schmidt or any of that like Tina Fey projects, this is a good one. But
Cool.
yeah, some of the best comedy out there.
Nice.
I think
Been
that's what
catch.
I've been watching.
Yeah. Been catching up with anything, Elijah?
I need to watch The Bear, but I need to get Hulu
Okay.
now.
Okay.
So I need to get the Hulu added
Fair
to my
enough.
Disney Plus. It's like always changing, and Hulu never has enough, so I keep canceling it, and then it has a show, and then
Right.
I don't know. It's like it doesn't have enough to like.
You can get it for the month though, and then you can cancel it after the month.
Yeah,
Right? So yeah.
but I do want to watch it. Haven't like dabbled into anything new per se.
Okay.
Obviously we're watching Acolyte,
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, I haven't dug into
talk
any.
about that later.
The
Into
Boys.
things.
You guys have been
Thinking
catching up
about, I
with
was thinking about starting The Boys, but I just wasn't. The last season didn't grab me. I mean, I probably did watch all of the last season, but
Uh huh.
I don't know. I need to find a day where I'm at home and I can just binge that. It's
Sure.
kind of like what I've been waiting for the right day. I'm like, oh, I'll work from home and just put that on the whole
Yeah.
time. So I'll get
I
to
mean,
that eventually.
this season of The Boys has definitely been kind of getting its way out there. That's one of the shows I've been watching, of course, and they find. I mean, this is a bit of a spoilers here. They did reveal something this week, which was related around the idea that Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character may not be real. And the thing is, this is the worst kept secret of the show, I think, this season. Everybody kind of went into this season knowing that there's a good chance this character was a figment of his imagination, of Butcher's imagination, and it played out that way. And I think it was kind of anticlimactic. What do you think, Jason?
I mean, it was pretty obvious that it was.
Yeah.
But like, for lack of being surprised, the reveal was cool.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, I enjoyed the reveal.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't like, oh my god, this is mind blowing.
Yeah.
But like.
But it did feel like they were trying to set up that moment to be that kind of.
But the way they revealed it was entertaining.
Yeah.
Like he's like art. He's like, because Butcher's. Sorry, Elijah. Spoiler.
Yeah. Sorry,
okay.
spoilers.
It's totally okay. Like
I don't know if
anything.
Yeah.
Saying anything
But
would
like,
not spoil it for me, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But like when Butcher has like constantly through this season had like visuals of his ex-wife who's dead showing up. So there was this like there was a confirmed like imaginary friend that he had, but like the way they revealed it of like Jeffrey D. Morgan like telling her to shut up.
Oh yes,
that was great.
There was two parts of his head telling itself to shut up. Yeah.
So like
exactly.
it's a Tyler Durden thing.
Yeah.
Which was like which is great. And we all figured it out. Like I think the lack of surprise wasn't that big of a deal.
I think it was just more like anticlimactic for the build up of the time. I think they could have anyway. Yeah, but
that's what I mean.
The moment was cool, but it was
they made up for the lack of surprise for like how they did the reveal, and I thought that was great.
Yeah,
but this last episode, dude, I think a lot of people.
Yeah, there was some weird shit going on in that episode.
Oh yeah, that V tumor. Sorry, Elijah, we're just like we're just spoiling the whole thing for you.
The Boys is being released week by week.
Yeah,
it is currently. Okay. Yeah, they dropped the first 3 episodes, and then they're doing week by week. I think that's. I mean, I'm.
So what are these on episode 4 or 5 right now?
5 or 6.
What was that? 5?
Yeah, it was 5. Yeah.
And what is that? Do you know how long the season's gonna go? 8, 10?
8 episodes, I believe, and then next season is their season, the finale of their show. So they're gonna.
I'll try to catch up on the Boys before next week, so that I'll be up to date. So that by the end, at least, I'll be up to date.
Yeah, I mean,
the head writer's getting a lot of flack for an interview that he was getting when they were talking about this last episode.
Right.
And I think a lot of people on the internet are kind of up in arms about it because of his double standard towards the rape of men compared to women.
Right. Yeah.
There was a scene where Huey has to pretend he's the Spider-Man character and meet up with Tech Knight,
which is really kind of gross.
Like, to say the least,
it was
the understatement of the week.
Like, but I laughed out loud several times of how gross it really was. I mean,
and
they did push some limits. I have to admit.
I was laughing too because it's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
and like, so he's getting like pretty much S&M tortured by him, and they brought up an interview, and then like, and Huey came out of it like traumatized, like he broke down and cried. And like it was destroyed by this, and they had like a post-episode interview.
Yeah. Oh, they did. I didn't see that
much. And like they brought up how Starlight in the first season was confronted by the Deep by telling her to go down on his Deep.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like a moment that they were kind of like fighting with, like, oh, we got to do this right. Yeah. Because like if this is hit wrong and we hit it tonally different, wrong, this could mess up a lot of things. We want to be sensitive to this. And then when they brought up, it's like, so they were comparing that to Huey,
right?
In this last episode, and they were like, oh, we just saw it as hilarious.
And,
So it's
and it was that, but there's a mental psychology behind that that is like was pretty
yeah, it was
heavy
shown,
stuff, heavy
it was
material.
it was shown in like the light of like, this was
Yeah.
funny because he was like,
Mhm.
farting on cakes and stuff, which is an internet thing. I don't know if you guys ever
Oh,
knew about that,
God, that
but
was
that's a
stupid.
total
Farting on
thing.
cakes?
There's videos. You Google it if you dare. It's a
I
thing,
no, I don't want to know.
Oh,
I
no.
don't want to know.
but it's like a well-established thing of like
Okay.
farting on cakes. That's a thing, but
All
like,
right. Wow.
yeah. So it was funny and all, but like, I guess people are just taken aback by
Yeah.
his intentions with it,
Yeah.
on how it's like almost even like worse, just as bad or maybe even worse than Starlight's situation.
Yeah.
But then how we deal, it's like a good reflection on how we deal culturally with sexual abuse on men
Sure. Yeah.
other than
Yeah.
women,
Yeah.
And so I think that's like I don't know, it's perpetuating some type of like ignorance in that type of thing. Like, because like
Right.
people will joke about men who are like physically abused by their
Yeah.
partners
Yeah.
and say, you're not a real man. But it's like
Yeah.
a real thing.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I think they're
absolutely.
just
Yeah.
perpetuating that kind
Yeah.
of discourse on
Yeah.
this like very real situation that happens. And I
Yes.
think
Yeah.
that's why a lot of people are giving them a lot of flack for it.
Right. Yeah.
But I think
Anyway.
that casts a huge shadow on like a lot of what this episode
Yeah.
is about, because there's a lot of crazy stuff that happened in it.
I can hear Enzo in the background there.
He's not napping.
He's not napping anymore. He's getting old enough to be.
No, he should be napping. I just don't understand why he's not napping right now. God.
All good. All good.
But yeah, I think that
Yeah.
was a lot of stuff going on online about that. So
Yeah. Yeah, some of the thing I ended up going to check out, along with obviously watching The Boys. I checked out Despicable Me 4. Um, it was okay. Like I enjoyed the first three the same way I enjoyed the first three Kung Fu Pandas, and somehow Kung Fu Panda 4 hit a kind of a slump, and so has Despicable Me 4. It's like it had some fun beats, but there was nothing new and fresh about it.
Maybe they're just putting less money into it, less time into these projects.
No, they had a really good cast. They had Will Ferrell voicing one of the villain character. They had a really great cast. I just thought the story kind of lacked what they had developed in the previous films. And I don't know if this is because they're running out of ideas or yeah, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed the earlier films of that, but yeah, Despicable Me 4 is doing very well in the box office, which is good. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, you know, as a movie, it was fun to see, but it was like, yeah. They also showed a brand new trailer for Beetlejuice as well. It's like, okay, yeah, and this is number 3, and I'm like, okay, now they're showing too much, because I'm sure the film won't be any more than like an hour and 45 minutes long. But it's
I
like,
haven't seen that online anywhere yet.
yeah, there's a lot of
Or-
what's the big guy with the small head, the shrunken head?
Whatever, just shrunken
Yeah,
head.
Ted or something like that.
The
Yeah,
name.
yeah.
Once I
That
gave him
character
the
popped up a few times in this new trailer. It was like, okay, that's kind of fun. Yeah. Other thing we've been watching, that I've been really enjoying, House of the Dragon, season 4. You're caught up with episode 3, Jason, right?
oh hell yeah, dude, we watched that religiously.
Yeah, yeah. 3 was good
Like
too.
Sunday night, we're like, yeah, House of Dragon time.
Tonight,
Yeah,
episode
that's
4,
just good stuff. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying it.
yeah, it's been good.
Got to see the eggs that Daenerys later hatches.
Yeah, I didn't realize until afterwards that someone had mentioned that they
Yeah.
were those specific ads. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was crazy. I
Yeah.
can't believe like what's his name? Rhaenyra. It's just like going into King's Landing under disguise like that. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
That was a great moment. That was a really great tense scene, and it's a quiet scene,
That's
but
what
it
they
was a
finally
very
revealed. Like she's like, wait,
Yeah.
you got it wrong. It's all a
Yeah.
misunderstanding.
yeah,
God.
yeah.
Like thousands, millions
But-
of people are gonna die over a misunderstanding. That's
But I
usually-
am curious to see how the story plays out. Not read the books, but I'm curious to see how these characters,
Well, the books
play
are
into the whole
even
thing.
like they taking mad liberties on these on the show, because the books are kind of like based on a maester's view on what's going on with the Targaryens.
Right. Yeah.
Like it's a kind of done like kind of like a diary by like a maester,
Okay.
like saying like secondhand like
Gotcha.
interactions with all this stuff. So like a lot of
Gotcha.
the details in between and how things
Uh-huh.
happen are all like done in the show that are not in the book.
Right.
So like they're hitting all the beats, but like not all the stuff in between, like the details
Mhm.
of how things happen. So
Yeah. Right.
like I don't think I mean I haven't read the books either, but
Yeah. 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 But either way, it's been fun. One other note I wanted to mention that happened this past week for me, which is like kind of a cool thing. I'm a big collector of toys, if you haven't noticed. I was lucky enough to have found something that I'd been searching for, and I started picking up the toy lines from 3 years ago, and I found this one vehicle from Star Wars Rebels, which is like 1 in 5,000, a chaser,
Oh,
really
one in
hard to get.
5,000.
Yeah, 1 in
Okay, that is
5,000.
rare.
And it is really rare, and I was able to end up by getting 3 of them within the same week. All of them went on sale at Ross Dress for Less, and I was lucky
It's
enough to
weird that
find
one
these.
place would get those three a rare. Like,
Well,
how does that happen?
yeah, well, so what happened? So this particular vehicle was released 3 years ago. It was almost impossible to find in the stores, and I think what happened was it got an international release up in Canada and down in Mexico as well. But they may not have sold as well in those other countries, and it ended up by being put back on the back burner. It got sent back up to the stores, and then eventually distributed into sales releases in cheaper stores. But this past week, I was actually able to find 3 of this one vehicle I desperately had tried to find years ago, and it was
That's
like,
crazy that
yeah.
it's that old that shows up at Ross Dress for Less and
I know
in a
for
week.
$4.99 for $4.99 like it was cheap.
Yeah.
It was really incredible because to get an idea, the people that were trying to
You're
resell
telling
this
me the
toy.
story of like, oh, it probably went overseas, and I'm hearing that. Dun, dun, dun,
No, I've been saying this for years. Yeah,
like on a boat, then it goes over here, then it goes
yeah,
over
that's
there,
it. Yeah, it goes back and
separate
forth
place,
back
then it
just to
comes-
find. Yeah,
I mean, like,
yeah.
yeah.
But here's the thing though, that actual particular spaceship toy, it actually ended up by reselling on eBay back at the time for anyone who was lucky enough to find it and try to resell it for over $250, and they were selling like that for the past couple of years. And it was not many ever on eBay, and so I thought I wasn't going to pay a dealer's price for that sort of thing. But at the same time, I was just lucky to find this.
You should be like the middleman, like
No, what? I'm going to unbox one of them, and I'm going to keep. No,
reseller.
see,
You have to come into
well,
reseller
no.
price.
I got 3 because I'm going to keep one in the box. I'm going to open one up and put on display with the rest of my collection, and then the third one I will use it as a trade. And if I can trade it in the future for something I don't have in that line, because there's still a couple of other things I don't have in the line, of the hard to get items. So now I've got something to trade with finally. That's in that chaser level kind of ship thing. So it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't want to make money off of that. I think it's unfair for people who are collectors who try to collect something like that, and then they're suddenly turned around and forced to pay a some dealer or someone online who
No one's
found them.
forcing them, Brent.
No one's forcing
no
them,
one's
but I think it's
no one's
ridiculous
forcing
that
them.
a $15 item that you would get in the store when you'd first find it, someone would be trying to make a profit of $250 on. And
But you know
and-
that's gonna happen. That's why if you're smart,
know.
you buy it when it comes out.
Well, no, but if you
Same
can
thing
find
with
it,
vinyl,
and believe me,
same
it's
thing
not that I and it's
everything.
not that I didn't
Anything
look,
collectible.
but
It's like,
yeah, but
if it can
yeah.
be resold, it's going to be resold for more
sure.
than what you bought it.
But it's also not that I didn't look. It just was a matter of, out of those 5,000, it seemed like a great majority of them ended up by not getting on the stores in the United States. So it was like one of those things. And it was like, I always knew back in the day, it's like, I'm going to find this vehicle. I'm going to own at least 2 of them. One I'm going to be able to
Years
unbox.
later.
And it happened like a week ago, and I was like, oh my God. So yeah, I had
So
this.
you're going
moment.
Ross to Dress for Less just a lot, just to check the toy.
Just to check and see, yeah. But
You're not
at the
looking
same
for
time,
dresses
well,
for less.
see, no. But at the same time, the other one I'm trying to still find is Harrison Diller's A-wing fighter. It's part of that same batch, so I haven't found that one yet. So
Gosh,
I
they could just go to a Five Below or whatever. They could just go to like these like empty stores that like.
no. Well, they could. Some of that stuff could end up there. Actually, some of that stuff has. Some of the Masters of the Universe stuff has ended up there. Anyway,
What's crazy is hearing you guys call it Ross Dress for Less.
for less, yeah.
I never hear the whole name. Usually just
Well,
call it
I-
Ross.
I
Well,
call
Ross could be a
too,
person
but he was
to
saying
people.
it dressed for
To,
less, so I was
yeah, for,
continuing on that
for
because I think
anybody
it's
overseas who might never have heard of the store Ross, they either might be thinking I'm talking about Ross, somebody who's called Ross. It's like no, it's not. It's
there you
it's
go.
it's a store. Yeah, exactly. So
Malloy.
I
Does
said
that,
Malloy
is it confusing that we call it Ross or
to a
Ross
British
dressed for
to a
less?
one British
Does it matter?
viewer. Anyway,
I didn't know it was
It's
called
like their
dress for
slogan
less.
included.
yeah, it's got that in the yeah. Anyway, whatever.
I went to In and Out. That's what a hamburger is all about.
It's not just in. It's not just out, but it's in and out. Anyway,
You have to say the whole thing.
whatever. Yeah.
Brent, don't joke. You're bad at
No.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, let's get on with the news since we can finally actually. Wait. What do we got? Wait, what? I think we just broke
wait, what?
Malloy's brain.
So
There.
there's a clothing store called Ross.
Dress for
That,
less.
yeah, the dress for less part I'm not used to ever hearing. Everyone I know just call it Ross. Even like
But it
on the
might say dress for
commercials.
less, like on the sign next to Ross, like all the time. Like, is that
Well,
like
I know,
is
but
that
like
a
I'm not.
subconscious
I'm like
thing?
basing this off of like in the commercials. Like I got at Ross. Like they're
Uh-huh.
not saying I got at Ross dress for less. You know,
Yeah, because that's a
we
tongue
all
twister.
just know we're calling it. We got at Ross.
There you go.
But yeah, it's
Yeah.
one of those things.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's the
Anyway.
name of the store. It's called Ross.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
But
It's not that
Discount
important.
clothing
Don't worry.
store.
Anyway, so jumping on to just little bits and pieces of the news that I've picked up in the last week. Sad news to start off with. Producer John Landau passed away yesterday, and he basically has produced some of the biggest films ever put out there. Titanic, the Avatar films. He's worked a lot with James Cameron. He produced Honey I Shrunk the Kids. He's done all these movies over the years, and yeah, poor guy. He passed away from cancer yesterday apparently. So, which was kind of sad. Apparently, he was one of the good producers. Like you have producers who can be real douchebags in Hollywood, but apparently everybody really enjoyed working with him. So, just thought it worth mentioning.
Lost
and
a
take
good
note.
one.
Lost the good one. Yeah, lost a good one. On the other hand, birthdays, at least a birthday a week ago, Mel Brooks had his 98th birthday last week, which is like
Wow,
kind of
98.
crazy. Yeah, and at the same time, and then they announced Spaceballs 2 is going to be made through Amazon with Josh Gad starring and Mel Brooks producing. So it's like, okay.
Let's hurry up and get that done, Mel.
I know, yeah, he's getting on. I would hope so. Anyway, Mel Brooks, what a
Shows
great.
that laughter keeps you
That's a
alive.
little late. That's a little late on Spaceballs. They could have been. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
But this just
absolutely.
proves how much
Spaceballs could have
laughter
been 10 years ago.
laughter keeps you alive, right, guys?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah. Other news, guys, that went on during the week. So I'm getting texts on the side, and I'm like, Wednesday's season 2 is set to become the largest production ever shot in Ireland, which is kind of crazy because Game of Thrones shot a lot of their stuff in Ireland. But the fact that they're shooting, I'm excited to see what happens with that.
Saying that all these shows are going to different countries and different, like, kind of like all over the place.
Oh yeah, except for the
South
United States, it
Africa,
seems.
whatever, Ireland, like all these different Scotland,
Yeah.
like just going all
Oh,
these
yeah.
different places.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. Obviously the Acolyte was shot over in Scotland and areas like that, and so yeah, there's a lot of shows that obviously people are looking for that kind of realism of a different landscape. Kind
Tax
of thing.
breaks.
Tax breaks are very
it's
big
just
for that. Sort of
That's
thing.
what it
Yeah,
is.
and
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
The other thing on
yeah.
the other thing on that is like how many
That's
U.S.
the
crews
first
going
reason.
out there to do that. Like how
Yeah.
much U.S.
Yeah.
crew and like how much local crew are they crewing up for these?
Oh yeah.
For these productions.
And they're big productions too.
Yeah, I know. Like that's a lot of jobs and a lot of work.
Oh yeah.
You wonder
Yeah,
how
just-
that's
it's not-
divvied up between,
Yeah.
union work and people who live in like just
Yeah.
local workers.
Yeah, it's just not as much going on in Los Angeles. Hopefully soon there'll be some stuff going on. We'll find out. Something interesting here, Elijah. This might pique your interest. The Indiana Jones soundtracks are coming out on a record, a huge set.
Vinyl.
Vinyl. Sorry, that's the one. Yes. Which is kind of cool. which will include all three of the originals
Nice.
and the more recent ones. But I mean, even if you didn't like the later Indiana Jones films, John Williams' score is fantastic. But there's a huge box set of all 5 movies coming out.
Yeah, some of those soundtrack box sets are so nice. They're
Yeah.
like, especially if you got into like listening at home on vinyl, you could totally get into that.
Oh yeah, I just don't have a record player.
You want to give up your Hot Toys for your.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They definitely have an expense to them, but at the same time, it's kind of cool. Let's see.
Superman?
Yeah, we've got some Superman stuff. Actually, there's a few other little bits and pieces here. Lord of the Rings. The run time of the animated film coming out later this year is 2 hours and 30 minutes, which is quite long for an animated film. I don't know how that's going to
Wait a
hold.
minute, what? A Lord of the Rings animated thing?
Yeah, we've talked about this before. It's coming out in
anime.
December.
Might
Yeah,
have gone over my head. Lord of the Rings.
yeah, it's War of Rohirrim. I can't pronounce the damn name, but yeah, that's coming out later this year at the end of the year in December.
It looks cool. They showed like screenshots.
Yeah,
It looks
Oh,
like
yeah.
one of the screenshots looked like a prompt that
Yeah.
you did like AI. It's like let's see Vampire Hunter style Lord of the
Uh-huh.
Rings anime, and
Yeah.
they give you that stuff. But a lot of the details on the throne of the Rohan throne is like exactly like the movie. Like they reference the live action stuff, so it's
Right.
canon with like the
Well,
films.
I believe that it is Peter Jackson is producing, so he's got his hands in all of this, which is good. So
But I like that. I like that they like reference the production design of the live
Oh, right.
actions to get like reference for like what the throne is. They get the actual throne
yeah,
from the live action movie, which is pretty
yeah,
dope. I like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Another thing they've been dropping images for this new Terminator Zero animated
cool.
series coming out on Netflix August 29th. Terminator, guys. I mean, do you think we're kind of got to a point now that we're beyond the
It hasn't been
Terminator
good
arc?
since Terminator 2, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Why does
really
it-
ended there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like nothing has come close.
yeah,
Yeah.
Well, just stop already.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
that's just IP. They're not gonna
Sure.
They're not gonna stop milking it.
No, they're not. But I'm still curious to see what they can do in an animated form. It's supposed to be pretty dark. I think Timothy Oliphant is supposed to be voicing the lead character. I don't know who that.
It could
is.
be interesting if the story's. It's got potential. It's like that's the thing. Is like
This is
it
what
has
we go
potential.
through
It seems
every
like those
time a
movies
new
should be
movie.
good, and they're not.
Yeah. Every
Yeah.
time a new movie's about to come out, we're like
Salvation,
hype.
all of them.
Yeah.
They're great.
And then
Jeff
it drops,
Bell.
and it doesn't always hype it up to the hype. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like we're just constantly disappointed. But
Is
then
it
we're
that
also,
we
like,
is it we're just generally hopeful that it's going to be something? Is that could that be it?
this
And
is
we're
the magic
overshooting?
of IP work.
Uh-huh.
Like
Yeah.
if you get something that's already familiar,
Mm-hmm.
you guys are going to be stoked about it, you know?
Yeah.
Whether it's good, we don't know if it's going to be good or bad, but
Right.
at least there's a dialogue that we have with ourselves and
Yeah.
nostalgia or whatever
Yeah.
that are causing us to be all like hopeful about it
Yeah.
because it's something that we love so much.
Yeah.
It's coming back. But
Or
many
a
times-
memory of what we love, because again, we love the first 2 films, but then we keep on having to
But
trash
yeah.
everything after it.
but that's the point. Like how
Mhm.
many times are they going to let us down
Sure.
before we stop being excited about something?
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like this, they've burnt
It
us
doesn't
too
take me
many
very
times.
long. I could be not excited, but pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like the
then,
most recent
yeah.
Terminator, and like, Linda Hamill came back.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
everyone
that didn't help it.
was
And
stoked.
yeah.
Like, right? Weren't you guys hyped about that?
I was
Yeah, I was hoping
hyped.
that was going to be good, and like
Yeah.
And then
Yeah. Yeah.
it wasn't.
Terminator Salvation. Same
That's
thing.
what you're doing.
We got
All the
like,
same actors are here, and
they
that's what you're
all-
making them do. It's like
Yeah.
what?
yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, how
I'm
long?
Bob. I do Windows. I do Windows. I fix Windows for you.
Yeah.
How many times are they
The
gonna
Terminator
do?
became a window repairman.
How many times are we gonna do this until we're like done?
Yeah.
We're like, no, stop pandering to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's almost like you have to wait for an entire generation to completely
Yeah.
bypass the whole system and then start fresh with a brand new,
I was talking with one of my parent friends yesterday, and he works as like he works for like movie studios and
Right.
shows studios to like pitch things for
Yeah.
people. So he finds like new stuff
Right.
and like finds a way to pitch it to big studio.
Mm-hmm.
And he says that like the only things they ever really look at these days are IPs.
Yeah.
That's the only thing
Yeah.
that pull for studios that are willing to put
Absolutely.
in that much money
Yeah.
because it also has like a promise and like kind of like a a narrative that we're
Not a
familiar
following
with.
rating.
And so it's not like a fresh thing. They're not looking at fresh things anymore, really.
Which is what we've been reverse saying for the last couple of years. Is like we want to see fresh things on a.
You don't watch any A24 film.
That's it. That's where you're getting them, and you're starting to get that.
It has to be like a specific studio that specializes in stuff that aren't IP. Fresh ideas.
Yeah.
But everywhere else,
And now those are just A24 films. That's what people are referring them to. Oh,
if it's
A24
not
film.
an IP, it's like part of that specific genre that A24 has,
Yeah.
But like I feel like we used to look at things like, I don't know, the stuff we used to look at back in the day, for instance, before the IP wars happened, were like directors, like, oh, Spielberg's coming up with this new thing, and we don't care what it is.
We're going to see. It's a Spielberg film. Yeah.
Directors still kind of hold that kind of weight. We got that new Zemeckis film coming out. How many times he made like weird stuff? We're still like, oh, Zemeckis.
That sounds cool.
Stuff like that. So like, directors still have a pull, but like any new generation of directors coming in, and you're watching their stuff because they're specifically directing it. It's not as big as it used to be. Yet there is newer directors out there who people like really admire and look up to. But I don't know, a lot
a handful, not to like the names that were in like the 80s and 90s and early 2000s.
Now it's like Marvel, Star Wars, Terminators, your like Jurassic Parks. Like it unless it's connected to something that's familiar, are we going to give a fuck about it?
And on the bigger projects, the directors have less control because it's more of like it's so voted upon exactly what everything's going to happen. It's like almost not even their movie. They just have to like organize everything.
It's a new Beverly Hills Cop.
Right. Yeah, I haven't even checked it out. I was never a big, huge fan of
Judge Reinhold's back.
Yeah.
I know.
But at the same time, I was never got into this. But been adding to that, they're one of the film that they're dropping, hopefully a trailer for soon, is this one, for first look of Gladiator 2. And it's like, I mean, the first one was unique and interesting, and I think that director
Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott, thank you. Yes, yeah. I did a great job for a film that was obviously a fictional characterization of the time and the period and all that.
It was a take on an old genre.
Sure, yeah, but
that's what it was.
But it was done well, and it was done well for the time.
Big blockbuster in Hollywood history was like what, and Her, I guess.
Correct.
It was like taking that tradition, and bringing it back. But like, if anything, it pushed like a whole aesthetic. That kind of carried on into films after it, but like...
But do we need another Gladiator movie, what, nearly 20 years, or at least 20 years later kind of thing?
If it's good, then that's great. But like, if it's bad, then, it sucks.
Right.
But like, if it...
Sure, pretty much always.
Well, that's pretty obvious. Jason's stating the obvious.
We're going to be glad that it happened. But this is what we hope for, and this is also kind of pushing that agenda of like something familiar and something great that we experienced in the past. So there's a good chance that we'll be going to watch it because of that.
Right. Yeah.
But that's the main reason why they follow IP stuff. So they go so heavy on the IP.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Because like there's a context there that we're familiar with, and without that, we're just like a shot in the dark. And they'd rather, people are investing millions of dollars into this. They'd rather invest in something that has a better chance because it's an IP than a blind.
So many times they get lucky on their first one. The IP then follows it into a sequel that may be good in the second one. Then they do it again for the third one, and then you get the audience starting to dip, and then suddenly you go back and you hit the fourth and the fifth, and they're still pouring the same amount of money into, if not more, into these fourth and fifth films at times. And
I know, but how about that unbridled fanfare you have for Star Wars? No matter what it's going to be,
sure,
you're going to watch it, guaranteed.
Yep.
any Star
Absolutely.
Wars.
Yeah, and you're going to keep watching Marvel,
Like that,
any Marvel, right? So
and I've
yeah.
missed some of them, but like
Actually, the only one I've missed at this point is I still need to watch freaking what's it called? Echo. Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. I feel bad.
but like that's the thing. Like, there's
Hmm.
always going to be people like you for each IP. Like, there's
Yeah,
people,
but enough on the
parts
populous
people.
range of to get it everybody to go to the theaters to watch it, or
I'm
everyone to
just
watch it
thinking,
on
how long
TV.
can they keep regenerating movies? Like, like
Yeah.
westerns coming back. I know what's his face. Kevin Costner is doing some epic western 4-part western movie. Hey,
Hey,
babe.
Enzo! Yeah, look at Enzo. He's growing. Oh
Oh,
my
no.
goodness. No napping, huh? Hey, Enzo.
Hey, buddy.
Look at him.
He's like, I don't want to go to sleep.
Hello.
He hasn't
But just,
slept
yeah,
at all.
every
He's
time.
just hanging out.
Every time, there was like
Look at
a.
that. Hey, Enzo. Look.
Hey,
Enzo.
don't squeeze that, dude.
He likes the microphone.
Expensive.
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
What's his little? Is that a bear, or is that what he's got? What has he got? His little guy.
Baby sloth. It's like his,
A little sloth. Oh, he likes his sloth. Is that
Nice.
one of his favorites?
yeah, it's his lubby.
Take it.
Shoot.
Oh, get it.
What?
Get
How
it.
much does- what's up?
Oh, he wants it.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Oh. Hey, buddy.
My
That's
son.
great.
Yeah.
He can't.
Yeah.
He's getting cuter.
He is definitely getting cute. Oh my god. He
getting-
was adorable before.
I like the longer hair.
Oh
The
yeah.
longer hair is awesome.
Absolutely.
Go now.
The other thing they started shooting this last week was season 2 of the show One Piece. And they've actually cast some new character villains. I don't know too much about these characters. Jason, you know more about what these characters are in
Yeah.
relation.
Like they're all dragon fruit eaters. Or I mean, what's the fruit called?
Devil fruit. Devil fruit.
Eaters.
Okay.
They
Okay.
lost their own powers, but they're all part of like this assassins. kind
All
of
right.
group. David Dismulchin.
I know. Yeah, he's
That's
in
What
there.
a guy, man.
That man gets everywhere. He's yeah.
Insane.
Role. It's good for that role. Like that
Yeah.
character, he kind of looks like him. Go
Yeah.
bring it back.
Yeah.
His career, just from Dark Knight to like
He's in it. Yeah, he jumps to
it's
his in
crazy.
everything suddenly.
Yeah.
And he's the
yeah.
nicest guy too. Absolutely, the sweetest guy to talk to, David Dismalchin. Yeah.
So this is where bring it back.
Yep. Hmm.
So the guy on the upper right hand corner, the black dude,
Right,
that
yep.
character is was designed after Lenny Kravitz.
Oh, really?
So a lot of like the characters that Oda makes, you could
Right.
trace back to the reference person
Oh, okay.
that he made him off of, and you start to notice that as you watch him more.
Right.
Like
And we've got some other ones here too.
other people. It's all
Wow.
great cast.
That's cool.
Jeez.
Yeah. So I don't know really too many of. And again, I don't know any of the characters, so I don't. It seems like they're going to have a lot more characters in season 2, though. They've got the original ones are coming back, of course. But they did start shooting, or they have started shooting season 2, the episode called "The Beginning and the End," episode 2, or season 2, episode 1. And then there was a great little promo video I think the cast did as well, which was just made. I generally feel good after watching that series. I think it's a great fun show, and I like to feel good. And very rarely have I sat down and rewatched a show more than the one time. And I think I've sat and watched One Piece since it came out like 3 times now already.
Okay.
From
Wow.
begin of this first season, that is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, shooting in South Africa.
Hey, Loki. You've never watched One Piece? Yeah, you know what? I never watched the animated show, but the live action stuff, if you get the chance, it's only 8 episodes long of season 1, but the cast are great, and it's got some really great emotional ties, stuff I did not expect to see from any from anything. And yes, Enzo is definitely getting cuter.
The translate, they did a good way of translating the emotional feelings you get watching an
The value.
anime to like a live
Right.
action,
Yeah.
because that's usually a mark that they miss during like when they make the live action adaptations.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway.
There's ugly shots.
Oh, it's not an ugly show. We had this conversation on Jason's channel the other night.
That's all I'm saying. There's certain like screenshots that are
Mhm.
very ugly.
Okay.
Like you can't look at like
See, this conversation, by the way, went from every screenshot looks ugly to certain screenshots look ugly. You just said now.
well most. How about
Most.
I would say the majority of every shot in that movie is not good for a variety of reasons.
That's all we're saying. Like I still enjoy moments of it.
We can blame Loki on bringing up this conversation again, but yes.
Right, I say I said there's
Uh-huh,
moments, like, I'm not like 100% hater of the whole movie.
I know. We are having fun with each other, just so we all know.
8% hater of that movie.
Except for Elijah, who does hate. Yeah, exactly.
I like the opening crawl, and I don't know what else.
Bad. What do you think, Loki? Do you think those shots look excellent?
Anyway.
Those screen grabs we
Anyway.
Well, cinematic masterpiece.
Speaking of something everybody might love or hate, Agatha all along has dropped a photo image. People are still ditching on the fact this show should even exist, and I'm kind of excited to see what they do with it.
I see this after that screenshot. I see it as a vehicle for female comedians.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
I don't
does.
want to
Yeah, you're right.
like
who's that
Hocus
lady?
Pocus Part 3 or whatever.
Oh yeah, part 2. Yeah.
What's her name? Who plays Ayanna Wexler's mom? Is that her?
I don't know who the rest of this
I don't know
cast
who
is.
Ayanna Wexler is.
Yeah, I do not know.
The first one to the far left. That you're talking about?
Yeah, for
Far
left.
left.
Or is she like Jeff's
I think-
wife in Curb Your Enthusiasm? Is that her?
No, I think it looks to me like the middle sister of the Hocus Pocus. Those three sisters, that one.
Oh yeah.
That Midler?
No, like,
Oh
whatever.
no! The larger woman. I forgot her name. Yeah.
She's lost weight and gotten then whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it looks like her. That's why I said Hocus Pocus.
Oh.
Yeah.
Everybody is coming back.
To me, well, the first time I saw it, I was like, I'm like, it's such a distance photo. You can't really tell
Dottie?
unless they put out the
Is
names.
that Foreman's mom?
I'm not too sure.
Eric
Dottie! Dottie. She was the other one in the. She was the one that. Well, I have to go back and rewatch
A
this like 2
neighbor?
years ago.
She was like a neighbor.
Yeah, she was the neighbor.
Shot.
Yeah.
Shot.
Oh, she is.
There in the hat behind Margaret Cho.
Oh, that is her. Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay.
And Margaret Cho, I didn't know it was Margaret.
She defended that Scientologist.
Oh yeah.
What's his name? Who plays Hyde. So
Yeah.
yeah, she's bad news, bro. She's
Yeah.
Well, I think
But-
he's like was
Well,
beat up in prison. I don't know.
whatever the case, I am actually looking forward to this series, as despite the fact that a lot of people are not and don't feel
October?
it.
Is
needs to
it
exist.
in October?
I think
Who's
you know,
not
I think
looking
it is.
forward to
It's
it?
sometime this year. Yeah. There are people out there complaining about it, and again, it could be because it's an all-female related cast. I'm like, screw that. I'm
Whatever.
in-
Shut up.
as long as I am entertained, and I love what I forgot her name. The actress who plays Agatha.
Hahn.
Catherine Hahn. Yeah. I love what she did with the character, and I was set that I would like to see what is done with that, and we are going to be getting that later this year. They dropped
Brent's gateway to like comedy, or like
yeah,
comedy actors.
comedy in the
But
MCU.
they have to be in like the MCU somehow.
Speaking of comedy in the MCU, a 1 minute long trailer dropped, and they revealed a character, Sabretooth, played by the same actor who played
like-
Sabretooth.
Hey guys, like them member berries.
Metallica's lead singer.
Is that,
Chris Jericho.
Metallica.
what do we talk about? We were just talking about Agatha all along, but we are now talking about Deadpool.
Deadpool Wolverine.
Deadpool Wolverine.
You remember-
Yeah.
New member
Look at him
berries
browse,
dropped.
man.
I know. Yeah.
Wake up, honey! New member berries dropped.
You know what? But I think it's gonna be fun. I think we're just gonna get a whole pile of that, and I feel like, again, it's like I'm curious to see what they do with the comedy of.
It's just
Deadpool.
gotta be
That's the-
littered with references, like from
Yeah.
beginning to end, like stuff in the background.
That
whatever,
the film comes out in
props,
3
like,
weeks, by the way. The film is
Yeah.
3 weeks away, the 25th. Yeah.
I bet they're only scratching the surface too.
Oh,
Like,
sure.
it's
Yeah.
Massive reveals that they're just like holding
Yeah.
close to the chest, which I'm hoping for.
Sorry, man.
Sorry, bro. Hey, it'll get better, Anchorman.
Yeah, sorry, Loki. I should have announced a spoiler on that one because that was a piece.
Hey,
That they
Loki,
kind of
did you see
showed.
that one
Yeah.
clip where? Just kidding.
But yeah, we get to see it in 3 weeks' time. We'll get the chance to give our opinion on the film. I'm curious to see
Yeah, I
how it
got
plays out.
tickets. Me and Anthony are gonna
Oh,
watch
you
it.
guys are going to see it? Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah, we're going on the Friday, but most of the theaters in the good theaters in the both IMAX and
Sold out.
Dolby are sold out in the good seats at least in for the whole weekend. It's crazy.
Over here at the Baldwin
Uh-huh.
movie theaters, there's still so many seats.
Oh yeah,
Wow, just empty.
but also I like to go see those films in a really good sound and stuff
No
like
one
that.
wants to come in the hood to watch a movie.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
I guess not.
Daredevil news.
You
What
get
was?
good seats. You get good seats in the hood.
Oh yeah. So they've given a release date for Daredevil: Born Again, which will premiere March of 2025. Agatha All Along will be coming September 2024, and The Eyes of Wakanda is expected to arrive in 2020, sometime in 2024. I don't know how real that is because we haven't heard anything about the Wakanda series yet. Series or movie? I can't remember. I think it's a
gonna be
series.
series now.
Yeah, yeah. But for that to be in 2024, I guess we're going to get a lot of announcements in D24. They're probably going to tell us a lot of stuff, but we'll have to wait until they come up with any of that conversation. When is D24 this year? I don't even know when that is. We'll probably get some reveals, and then of course we've got 2 weeks from now is San Diego Comic Con, and both I believe Marvel and I think Star Wars are going back to the Comic Con for the first time in a couple of years. So
Nice.
we'll hopefully get some reveals and new footage and trailers and cool stuff.
You see the banners in San Diego got the new Fantastic Four.
These ones right here. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
Dude,
Yes.
I'm getting more excited about it because they get to play with like a 60s aesthetic.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like that's great doing a period piece with this.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
The best possible way to do it. And I'm excited to be able to see like an MCU film and set in the 60s.
Yeah. Yeah. I just want to get my hands on one of those banners. I mean, they're kind of cool. But yeah.
Like there's you see that secret website or there's like on the lower part of the banner there's a thing. It shows the Future Foundation and that leads to like a secret website.
Oh, really? Okay.
But
I can't see it on that.
the promo stuff looks great. I like
Yeah.
this whole like aesthetic, 60s aesthetic for this group. It's perfect.
I'm hoping they'll give us a trailer drop at San Diego Comic Con this year, and if not, it'll be at D23 this year.
Yeah,
So
are they
we'll get something.
shooting? Are they shooting for it already?
Oh, actually, are they shooting?
I
Actually,
didn't even think they started shooting.
I thought they were shooting. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure they've started shooting
I don't
already.
think they are. I like the last interviews I saw with some of the actors. They're talking about how excited they are to
Oh,
start
really?
this.
I kind of gathered that they had already started shooting, but interesting.
They asked the guy. This is like a few weeks ago. They asked the guy from who's playing Ben Grimm how he's
Yeah.
prepping to play the role.
Oh yeah,
He says he's been looking at rocks.
that's funny.
Yeah, I've been looking at rocks, cousin Richie.
Uh-huh. Jumping over to the. Is there anything else on the Marvel side of things that you've heard of in the last week, guys? Or?
I think
no.
they're waiting. I mean, after Comic Con, I think
Yeah.
both
There's
DC Comic Marvel will release a bunch. Of
What
stuff.
is it? I think the Watcher is going to be in it. They've
Okay.
casted Galactus,
Right.
Silver Surfer.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently, it's taking place in an alternate Marvel universe.
Is that the idea? Okay.
So like a
Alright.
podcast with Kevin Feige.
Okay.
There's going to be some type of convergence that causes them to like separate. There's if Max was here, he'd probably break it down
I'm sure.
better because there's a
Maybe next
line of them being separated, like the kids, the Fantastic Four getting separated into another universe, which
Oh,
leads
okay.
to the Secret Wars.
All right.
But yeah, seems to be around the premise of what's going on.
I mean, they're basically holding to the Arrowverse, where the Arrowverse kind of did that and separated its.
No one cares about the Arrowverse.
I can't. I can't. Alrighty, let's jump over to the DC universe for a little bit. Animated Batman trailer came out for Batman Cape Crusader. It's based around Bruce Timm, and he is actually kind of, I think he's producer on the show. It's based around the original animated series, but just like in a kind of more updated kind of way. But the trailer, the animation, it looks gorgeous. It's got that kind of dark plate background that they'd always do the
It's
animation
got
of the
that,
original animated
just
series
him.
in.
It's
Oh, I don't think I've seen the trailer. Do you have
You
it?
didn't see it? I do. I don't want to get kind of pegged for it on the thing. Unfortunately, they really peg at everything. But there is a trailer out there now for the Batman animated series, the new one. But it looks like they're going completely full in. You know, you've got Two-Face, you've got Penguin, you've got all the characters. It's going full on to what we know, and keeping
Stuff we know.
it's stuff we know, but it
we
will be
know.
but it will be all new stories. It's like, you know, we're gonna get cool.
well, it's all
fun
the
stuff.
new. I mean, you get.
Well, that's what they showed us. That's what they showed us.
characters
I don't
in
know if
there.
they're gonna.
It's
I mean,
Batman's in.
look, I mean, my big question is, will Bruce Timm do something like introduce a brand new character that we haven't seen, like Harley Quinn was developed for the animated series? Will we get any of that?
They
coming
usually
into-
don't do that. If it would be a special thing, or they write it into it, I mean, that's possible.
Maybe. I think there's 10 episodes of this show, and I know it's coming out later this year. I think there was a release date. I don't think I've got it there. Wait a minute, the release date? Oh, August 1st. Sorry, is when it comes out. So I'm looking forward to seeing what goes on in that show and how that plays out. The other thing that was dropped about a week or two, Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart are the pickup for the new series Lanterns by HBO. This was mentioned 2 weeks
That
ago.
makes
I think
sense. The most two popular Green Lanterns.
It was. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a good pick
In
for
one-
them.
It should be a series like True
That's
Detective.
what most people
True
would want. They want Hal Jordan. Yeah, that's the
Right.
characters that people want.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need like we're getting Guy Gardner in the Superman.
Yeah.
That was Guy Gardner. Yeah. Hang on a second. We may as well
A
jump.
lot of
into this.
Superman photos.
Yeah,
It seems
so-
like you're just leaking all kinds of stuff now.
Yeah. Let's jump into
I've
Superman.
seen video
So-
stuff. I don't even know if it's real, so I haven't looked at it.
Yeah, James Gunn went out into location and started shooting, and they're currently shooting in Cleveland right now. And so Jameson was interviewed apparently, and one of the big things that was said was, aren't you afraid of all these leaks that you keep showing by shooting out in the real world? And he said, A, he doesn't have any control over that, but B, he is not going to end up by doing and shooting anything in the real world that he would consider a really serious big leak. In other words, he's going to have some definite
spoilers.
secrets. Yeah, he's going to have some big secrets. We may be seeing what these actors look like in costume, which I think the difference between Clark and Superman is fantastic.
Right.
Yeah, some of the biggest difference we've seen in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it feels like a completely different person. Like, even the way he pushes his lips out as Clark Kent.
Yeah,
there.
his chin or whatever he's doing
Yeah.
with his jaw.
Yeah, and it's
His
incredible.
jaw
Was it,
forward a little bit.
Was it All-Star Superman where like in his Clark Kent form his like posture's different?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he's all hunched
hunches
over.
over and,
He
like,
sucked. I know the hair is great. Like it looks ridiculous, but it's great. I mean, but it works. I want to see where this transformation happens between.
he's just like
Yeah, I know. It's like the hair just suddenly goes back and it's all sleek.
It's just the wind. As soon as he
Yeah, that's
pops,
it.
as soon as he pops
Yeah.
out, the wind
Yeah.
from him changing.
Yeah, but I think it's
Pushing
awesome.
back.
We've also got characters such as Mr. Terrific.
And a Ghostbuster.
Again, and a ghost. Yeah, that was a weird one.
Just joking.
Yeah, exactly.
Sound guy.
But we have got that is the sound guy. That is the sound
whatever,
guy.
it's just
he
a-
looks like a Ghostbuster, doesn't he? But we've got but we do have the S back on the cape again, which I think looks
That's
great.
rad. I love. That is
Yeah.
like so 80s core.
Yeah.
Dude, but back to his Clark Kent look, I like that there's a way to justify how Lois can't figure out that it's him.
Sure.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I like that
Yeah.
he's different enough where if people
Yeah.
don't figure it out, I think
Yeah.
that's great.
And if he really sells it, like his Clark is really clumsy and really like whatever.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so stoked about
wait.
this.
I
this
really
is-
am,
If
yeah.
this is not good, just
It's James Gunn.
not
He's got
amazing.
a
It's gonna be
perfect.
good.
it's gotta be like a huge if it's good, it's going to be a huge jump
Yeah.
for comic book movies.
Oh yeah. But the
James
other
Gunn's got a great track record, so
Yeah.
I have a lot of faith in him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
But-
I don't
but
see
if
how
you-
it could be bad with him
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
But you also have a look here. His costumes are very comic book and animated show accurate, specifically to the Superman animated series and to the
Right.
comics. Because if you have a look at Lois Lane here, and
wearing a
Perry White,
White skirt.
yeah, well, no, she's got the purple skirt. We've
A white
seen that,
shirt,
and
it's a
Huh?
yeah.
She's wearing the same colors.
Yeah.
Oh my
But yeah.
god.
I know, but it's like
Wow.
but it sets the tone of certain things that are familiar, and I think that is going to help balance things along. Jimmy Olsen,
Just in case if you
It's a
have,
little
if you
weird,
don't have object permanence,
uh-huh,
just so you know, it's Lois Lane.
oh,
You
for
have to
sure,
do the
yeah.
color coordination with the cartoon.
Hello there, Ted.
It's great casting for everyone, dude.
Oh, sure,
Everyone's
yeah.
casted great. Jimmy Olsen, getting that guy for Jimmy Olsen, perfect.
Now, here's
Yeah.
the full here's the full look of cast to animated character.
The current animated.
Well, current animated, yeah,
Is it-
I guess, yeah.
Bunk as Perry White, perfect.
Yeah, and then you got Cat Grant on the end there, along with wait, what was that guy's name? The last one there.
The guy who plays Launchpad's voice.
Oh,
from
is that what? Oh, that's it. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, they're all they've really kind of put forward the Daily Planet crew quite a bit, so you're going to see them quite a bit on the thing. Obviously, behind the scenes of the actor who's playing Lex Luthor. But we've also got there's so much imagery that's come out. And
Yeah,
lot of it's
lots
just
of photos.
Like that,
Yeah,
the crossover of Rumlow from the MCU.
Yeah.
And that's Ultraman right there. That's like
Yeah.
the alternate
Ulysses.
Superman.
Ulysses, right? Isn't it? Is the name of the character?
I think it's Ultraman. Or is that right?
I think Max told me it was a Ulysses. Was who was? I don't know if that's the name of the actual character.
Noir.
Black Noir. Yeah, he seems like he's like from.
But Frank Rumlow's character on there it's just like his character Winter Soldier, dude.
Yeah, Black Noir. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, it's
He's like
definitely
wearing the
that vibe.
same outfit as Crossbones. He's like doing this. He's being the same guy.
Yeah,
Go back to the other picture with him in it.
this one.
There.
Yeah.
Frank Grillo.
Oh, right.
It's just Rumlow all over.
Oh, on the left. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like he can't play anyone else but those type of dudes.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Tight black
I like
shirt.
how the Superman
military
costume is
wear.
not like. Oh, sorry. I like how the Superman costume is not like extremely skin tight. It looks like it's like kind of loose
Yeah.
and comfortable on him.
Yeah, I think they'll also do a bit of patching and touching up in post. They usually do with the costumes these days, anyways. They'll touch over.
Yeah, when
any-
you see Black Panther, like the in Civil War's Black Panther
Yeah,
on screen, like compared to like on set,
yeah,
there's a lot of wrinkles and it was
Yeah.
like really loose.
yeah, yeah.
So like there's a good
Okay,
chance
okay.
might be a
Yeah.
lot of that fixed in post.
And we do. I mean, this is a bit of a spoilage, but I guess. But we are getting our first look at Guy Gardner and Hawkgirl in this, which is
Guy Gardner's
Nathan
jacket
Fillion.
looks just like Mr. Terrific's.
Yeah,
you-
they gotta
you
be. They gotta
noticed
be
that.
already in a group.
It's like the same tailor.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're-
And
Same
even
shot
and
girl.
even and same with Hawkgirl too. Yeah, they've
Got
all
that
got the
same
same.
like kind of like pattern on the chest.
Yeah,
I
I
think
feel
they're
like
gonna be on a team or in a group already
Yeah,
when they're
prior to
introduced.
s-
Like this is
yeah.
our group of 3 or 4 or whatever, whoever they are. They're gonna have a name
Yeah.
for them
Like
already.
a sponsored team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of reminds me of like when like first episode of The Boys, how like
Yeah.
superheroes are already well established in the world.
yes, yeah.
So we're already introduced to a world that has superheroes,
Yeah.
which I think is great.
And
Especially-
Superman's just
They
part of
could
the new
actually-
generation, is what I'm gathering.
They could actually be the beginning of the Justice Guild or
Guild,
Justice League.
yeah. That's
Like
what it feels.
maybe like, hey, we are the Justice League. We want you to come in with us. And Superman's nah, I do
Yeah.
my own thing. I'm Superman.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
again, they're part of the old ways, and Superman and whatever generational team come
Right.
into it will be part of the new ways.
Right.
Yeah. But I'm just excited of a world that we're being introduced to that's already used to superheroes.
Boys,
Like, that's great.
this one, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I
that made
Yeah,
me finish,
Superman. I mean, it
friendship.
seems like we're
Mhm.
picking up in the middle of Superman. Superman. We don't need it. We're not going to get any
Mhm.
sort of origin story.
Yeah.
yeah. And apparently, Millie Alcock, is it? Yeah, is rumored to be currently in Cleveland for Superman. So it doesn't surprise me that she'd make an appearance in Superman before they introduce her into her own show.
Sure.
But as Kara Zell before she pops up as Woman of Tomorrow. But yeah, you're right. We've got and the one other thing also that this is kind of a big thing in a homage kind of way. James Gunn has pulled in Christopher Reeve's natural birth son just to have a cameo as a reporter from the Daily Planet, I guess. Which is
My
kind
dad
of
was
cool.
they have given him a line. He's like, yeah, my dad used to work for the Daily.
Yeah. I don't know what they're gonna do, but this is him shaking hands with James Gunn down there. So it's like, yeah, I mean, James Gunn is definitely keeping obviously things light and obviously setting up these cool little things, but is not trying to start from scratch.
Did you see that clip? Did you see that clip of like Superman landing and all the kids run up to him and stuff? Did you see that one?
Yeah,
I didn't see that one. No,
There's a couple
like
clips up there.
there was like a on-set video of
Yeah.
that. It shows like Guy Gardner, Hot Girl, and like Mr. Perfect walking, and then Superman lands.
Oh wait, I did. Yes.
And then all the kids run up to him.
Yes, I did
hug
see
him
it
and
now.
stuff. So it's like it gave me this vibe that we're just gonna get like the Superman who would like, rescue a car and also bring a kitten down from a tree.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Well,
like,
I mean,
he better rescue a cat in this movie. Like that's all I want. I want to see that.
I think that's the reason why this dog is here. I mean, come on,
like that. Like I want to see that type of stuff, and I think that's what we get because of his appeal to children.
The shadows from a boulder about to crash on him. So.
No. The shadow actually, I don't. I thought I pulled it. There was a shot of him of Superman holding a door or something. And I realize there's a lot of water pouring out of this thing. I'm wondering whether or not it's like a submarine or something that he brings in, and it's just I don't know.
Well, regardless of what he's holding, I'm just happy to see that like we've transcended this brooding kind of hero, kind of a trend that we've been in.
Yeah, and we're back to the brightness of
since the 90s, and we can finally get something that is unironically endearing.
Yeah.
And like wholesome.
Yeah. See, this
I think
this is the Superman I want to watch.
I think my Adventures of Superman have kind of like leaned into that, which makes it really good. Is that it's like it's cute,
Right.
Like
again, I haven't watched all of it, so
yeah. It's not like we got our Batmans, we have our like Robert Pattinson Batman still, so we get our brooding action hero still, but like Superman isn't. To go back to the basics of Superman, I think is great.
Yeah, I agree. I think
this is the biggest thing I'm excited about.
Yeah, it is too.
Hero movie right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
you gotta wait another year, one more year.
Yeah.
Track record.
Yeah, I think it's
next
year. So I think it's summer of next year. Is it supposed to be together? I mean, they putting these shows, these movies out so fast, so it's crazy.
It's gonna be quick.
Yeah, it's gonna be quick, but I mean, they must be at least halfway through shooting at this point. So, and then jumping on, I don't think there was any other DC news. I was going to jump back into a bit of Star Wars news to end it off here. What was it? Okay, so Ahsoka Season 2. Apparently there are reports that they are recasting Ray Stevenson for the character of Balin Skrull. Obviously the story that Dave Filoni had planned out sets that character in a motion, so it's, I don't see it as being disrespectful for recasting. I'm actually, it'll be one of the few times we get a recasting in Star Wars. Unfortunately, because of an unfortunate incident, but it's what they've been looking at, what people have been saying, and they don't want to see a CGI, replacement of that actor.
That would be disrespectful.
That would exactly. So
like Flash levels of disrespect.
Yeah. So is it bad to recast? No, absolutely not. It will.
Look at Obi-Wan. He was recast.
Yeah.
You got to recast.
But yeah, I mean, Ewan McGregor's getting up there in age too. I mean, he's getting close to.
I know, but
believe it or not, the age of.
There was an original Obi-Wan.
No, I know, but I'm saying
there are recasts that are better. Batman with the Rachel Dawes, and you have
oh yeah, that's right.
Iron Man with Brody character, and you got
Maggie Gyllenhaal is way better of a Rachel Dawes than
Way better. Way
Yeah.
better. Yeah.
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 But they will be recasting. Obviously, it's going to serve the purpose of the story. He needs Bale and Skrull around.
Would you?
Yeah.
Do they have anyone in mind yet?
No, I
They
actually
announced anyone?
don't.
Who do you think would make a great Balin?
It would have to be a British actor because Ray
He's
Stevenson has got.
Australian.
So yeah, but are you? But he sounds British though. He doesn't sound Australian.
It could be any.
I know it could be any. It could be
Well-
any actor. Yeah, sure. It could be any actor.
He's got to be
but-
British.
No, but he sounds.
He's just got to look. He's got to have.
He's
that
got to have that
similar look.
voice. He's got to have that similar
Yeah,
look. He's got to have that
Actor's
voice.
job, dude.
That voice. And
job to do the
and
voice. They can do
I
it.
do, but I do feel bad because whoever they cast is going to have to live up to this performance, and I think that is going to be the tough one. Is like, how will this actor take on the role? Will he take on the role as if he's trying to become what Ray Stevenson performed as that character? Because it was probably one of the few new Star Wars characters.
He's not necessarily filling the shoes of a
Right.
Godfather.
Yeah, but at the same, or is he? But I'm saying like he.
Character in Ahsoka at the same
Yeah.
time too. Let's
Right.
not over ourselves.
No, but at the same time, he definitely is one of the newer characters that people flock to because of the
Yeah.
performance and the way he performed this character. Or will this new actor take on their own life of their role themselves? And it's a hard one. I don't know how that's going to be portrayed. But either way, I'm curious to see what they do with it. I'm curious to see what they do in Ahsoka Season 2. Whenever they start shooting. Hopefully it'll be soon. I think it's the only other show that is slated for shooting as a series. Outside of the other 3 movies that we've got set at this time that we know of. Andor Season 2 news.
Another Australian.
Yes, yeah, he's Australian. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's going to be reprising his role as Handel.
Brent, you should be on top of your Australians, bro.
Yeah, I know. Go figure. I honestly thought he was British, but okay. But he'll be reprising his role as Orson
Spicy
Krennic in Season
British.
2. Yeah.
Australians are just spicy British.
Spicy British. Yeah,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
fair enough. What was the other Andor Season 2 stuff that I saw? Sorry, it was Orson Krennic. Okay,
You got the
yeah.
Union Jack on your
Yeah,
flag.
there you go.
You might as well
Yeah.
be. You know?
Because they're prisoners that were thrown there from England. They're just
Uh-huh.
here. Make your own land.
Yeah, when does Andor come out? I'm so
Andor Season 2 will be out. The word will be in 2025. Because at the end of this year, probably the last weeks of the year, we'll see Skeleton Crew, which this is a pin badge that's come out, which is like the kids are on a speeder. It's obviously a very child-oriented series.
You'll love
based
that.
around the kids. Oh, shut up!
That looks like a total '80s like type of pin. Or
It's got a
lunchbox.
vibe.
Dude.
No, it really does, has it? Yeah,
That is
It looks like
great.
an '80s lunchbox.
yeah. But it's a pin that came. I don't know where that pin.
Is that a
even came
Sice
from.
Noodles, dude? Is that
What's
like
that?
his species?
It's similar, but the look of it, yeah.
Well, it's his
Just
species,
that graphic
right?
would be cool on a shirt.
It's like a kid version of him. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can see, yeah, in the top is the photos of the actual cast. He's on the right there. I can't zoom in on that, unfortunately.
Baby
but-
Sice Noodles, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, he's got hair, too. He's got like a flat top.
Yeah. And then
No, that's a Max Rebo, not a Sice Noodles.
Oh yeah, sorry, Max Reboot.
Max Rebo. Yeah. Yeah.
Brent, you should have caught me.
Sorry, I was looking at
Lacking.
I was looking at.
I was trying to see what you were talking about. I'm like, oh no, that's a Max
My
Rebo.
bad.
Yeah, at the end there.
Max
No,
Rebo.
I think
I was looking at
think
the I was looking at the graphic on the badge itself
Oh,
because
okay.
it looks like a
Yeah,
kid,
no,
like
Great, dude. It looks
a
like
kid
a.
on a bike or a kid on
It looks
a,
like-
Yes, it's on a
looking
speeder
at-
of some sort.
on a-
Yeah, it looks
Dude,
like all 4 kids are on a speeder in that image there.
Does it look like old, like awesome Atari?
It
box
does, doesn't it?
dude?
Yes,
Yeah.
it looks like an Atari box or like a old
Yeah.
like a old shirt, like a old
Yeah.
like a iron-on shirt
Yeah.
with like a collar. You know, you have like a blue collar.
See, that's the Star Wars aesthetic I like to see.
Yeah,
Well, it looks like we're getting that
The
from the,
anachronistic kind of 80s, 70s, like
yeah,
maybe they'll go for that on this. I mean, if that's the first image that they're
maybe.
the first product. that'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean they've also did the Lego, so they dropped the Lego. They did drop the name somewhere of the character that
Jude Law.
Jude Law's playing. I forgot his name. It was a 3-letter.
Arrogant
Word.
British man.
The young.
It's, I'll be
Young
excited
folk.
when we start seeing stuff. We'll probably get some. We'll get some footage either at D23 or we'll get some footage from.
There's just been
Comic-Con
so much
or something.
drama with that show.
There was a lot of drama on the show, apparently.
Stranger
Just
Things
the way it
plus
was put
Star
together.
Wars. That's
Yeah.
actually that's probably what they're going for, huh?
That'd be
Star
cool.
Wars Stranger Things.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be. The kids are like this show's already
Kid,
shot.
kids on
This
a
has been
bunch
shot.
of crazy
Yeah.
planets.
Yeah. The show is shot at the same time as Ahsoka. Like, there were parallel shooting schedules with each other. So those kids will be 2 years older as well. So it's like, it's going to be funny when they get to do their promotional stuff because they're all going to be
Yeah,
weird.
we're used to
Yeah.
that. They always do that
Uh-huh.
now.
Yeah, pretty much. And then let's finish up on the Acolyte. The last couple of weeks of the Acolyte have been interesting. We've got this unknown planet. We've got, this cool metal called Cortosis, sorry. And then there's a rumor that this weird planet might be related to Darth Plagueis, and the planet could be called Baldalmic. That's why they're keeping it an unknown planet. So I'm just throwing this randomly out there, but and because it was connected heavily to the Cortosis in the rich deposits of Cortosis on the planet. And of course, we see all that because of the blood veins and all that. And I don't know. I mean, I'm enjoying this show a lot. I think this has been a really cool series. We've got
Yeah, I'm on board.
yeah,
I'm fully on board on this show now
Yeah.
because Chimera is so cool.
Chimera is cool. He's definitely becoming the Sith that people are flocking towards, which is kind of funny. It's really quite no. It's setting up what they're
I'd
setting
follow
up to
that
be
guy
a big
around.
mystery. Yeah, a good mystery. Yeah, it's a good mystery. Jason's happy because there's another.
Finish the word, Brent. I know it's in there.
Sorry,
I'm not going to fill in for you this time.
Nope.
Go on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that could be
Nope,
anything.
I'm having a complete mental block there. But yeah, no, it's
What? You just gonna?
no, I just thought I'd leave you hanging. No, it's another Filipino, which is actually really cool, is what Jason's saying. It's a multicultural cast. I mean,
Yeah, he was totally cooking sinigang in that,
Huh?
and he offered it.
Oh,
To
yeah.
her. That is Filipino. That's the most Filipino thing you could do.
Yeah.
Is give someone food when they come over.
Well, I mean, that's also cool and shows that they've spent time looking at other cultures and stuff like that too. And we're getting a very multicultural show out of this, which is
He's
really
the most
fun.
interesting bad guy in Star Wars I've seen in a while.
You're right. Yeah, I mean,
Like,
Balin Scroll was interesting for me too, but he's been left in so much mystery that we don't know.
Yeah,
what
he
that
was
is, but-
interesting too, but he was kind of like he was not full on bad guy, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Like
it-
the big baddie in that was Thrawn, and don't get me started on Thrawn. But Chimera, oh my god, When's the
There's a
last
lot
time
of
a
depth.
Bad guy this good. Darth Vader. Like since Darth Vader, I haven't seen like such a cool bad guy, like
Yeah.
someone who's so intriguing. And there's a thing about Darth Vader that like
Yeah.
he was like a lot of kids loved him when
Sure.
Star Wars is that like that was
Sure.
the costume to be for Halloween, you know.
Oh, totally.
Right.
You can be Luke if you want.
Wow, what's the costume gonna be for Chimera?
I know he's naked, like a huge scar.
I certainly hope
Walking
not.
around.
I certainly hope.
Oh,
It's
there's
definitely
gotta
the
be.
rizziest. Yeah.
The rizziest for sure,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Like join the dark side. We got soup and skinny dipping. Cool masks.
Yeah.
And dude, this is the first time you ever get like a Sith describe why they wear a mask and kind of make sense on
Yeah.
why they wear a mask. So he's fighting
Yeah.
blind, dude. That was a big
Right.
reveal for this episode.
Yeah.
Is she puts on the mask so you see a POV.
Yeah.
You can't see anything.
No.
He killed those Jedi's blind.
Blind. Yeah, that's cool.
I think the big thing that's going to
That's
happen with that
crazy.
is that she's going to connect with her sister while she has the mask on. And she's going to get the whole story that we're going to see, obviously, in episode 7 for the backstory. And I think that's going to be a very interesting tell as to how this all plays out. I mean,
Yeah.
it seems pretty obvious how it's going to play out. If we
I
feel
keep-
that Osha's going to turn dark side and May is going to possibly... I don't think she'll join the Jedi Order, but she'll have more sympathy towards the Jedi Order.
I keep seeing a lot of references to Rashomon, the Akira Kurosawa film. And there was a big I think what's her name who made the show? I keep forgetting her name.
Leslie
Leslie
Headland. Yeah,
Headland
yeah,
was referencing Rashomon a lot, and in that movie, you see the viewpoints from different characters,
yeah,
and I think that's what they're kind of pushing for this
yeah.
that same agenda of like
Oh, yeah,
seeing things through someone else's eyes, so missing huge parts of the story,
yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
But you know,
Which we know is going to be filled in, and that's the one thing we
which we
don't
do,
always
but
get.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, and hopefully we do. You know,
Well,
we're
I think it'll be filled
expecting
in
it.
for a satisfying enough story because she
That's a
kind of
lot
has
of
said
that's a lot of faith
yeah,
for not seeing it yet, Brent.
it is a lot of faith because we don't always get that in a season one of
Yeah.
any of the Star Wars shows. But I feel like I think she's approached this story that she's at least going to settle enough of what has been set up to be concluded,
Yeah.
and still leave enough mystery open that if
Well,
it
let's
does
hope
well
so.
enough, it'll get it. She wants to do a season 2, 3, and 4. She said,
Yeah.
I want to see how this Empire, how the dark side story continues. I mean,
Yeah, I just hope Chimera survives through all of it.
I think he's going to have to. I mean, there's also the other spin that he is not directly connected anymore to the Sith Lords, and becomes the first Knight of Ren from the future. From the
Well, you hear
sequels.
Kylo Ren's theme when
Correct, more
in
than
the
once.
last episode,
Yeah,
or the one before too, and
yeah.
yeah, I think that's a lot of people are
yeah. I'm basing that on.
relating that,
Yeah.
like, oh, that's Kylo Ren's theme, and
And
yeah, I
yeah.
guess that's the Knights of Ren.
Yeah, I mean that would be a fascinating story to see because we got jack shit with the Knights of Ren when it came to the sequel trilogy.
Yeah,
We
it was
didn't
nothing.
get. They sounded so cool, and then we got.
I was so
nothing.
stoked on them.
I know.
Like
yeah.
in the first season,
Yeah.
in the
Movie.
first movie, you
Yeah.
see like them real quick.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, that's sick, dude.
They're
Just like,
powerful enough to take out Luke's Jedi Temple and all of the
Yeah.
Jedi there. I mean, come on, that's a lot.
so it's funny
Yeah.
because they've already established this, like, the rule of two.
Yeah.
So like every time you introduce new Sith, you're like, all right, oh no, it's something else. Like,
Yeah.
oh, they're Inquisitors, or like, oh, they're Knights of Ren, because there's
Yeah.
not allowed to be multiple Sith. But
Correct, yeah.
we found this loophole where we could include as many Sith as we want
Yeah,
because they're
sure.
not real
Oh, yeah.
official Sith.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Totally. No, but otherwise it'd be a very boring story to tell over 1,000 years of of that kind
But
of.
they're just stuck because they did a rule of two thing, you know?
They kind of are, but
You didn't have to do that, but since it's been established, they got to
Right.
work around it,
yeah, exactly, yeah.
No, they didn't. A lot of things were just forgotten about, and then they
Yeah.
handed the show off. They handed the movies off to someone else
Yeah.
who took it in a different direction, and they had to backpedal.
Yeah.
And they just gave it back to JJ
Yeah.
and be like, okay, no double retcon on all this stuff. So like, yeah, it was just a
Yeah.
huge mess of the worst that Star Wars could be.
But that was the one thing, again, has Leslie Headland has said in interviews that she has focused on what works in the legend stuff and has tried to pull that back in. And they are always constantly trying to pull back in the legend story arcs, but they have to reinvent them at the same time. A, because they don't want to copy what's been done before, but B, you want to pay respect for people who at least have read the books and stuff like that. But there's a lot of people that are still not kind of wanting to click into all that and connect with that. And the legends is there; they can enjoy the legends all they want. This is
Too many different types of fans to please, you know.
That's it. Yeah, you're right. And
then
so,
like there's always going to be people pissed off about. I mean, that's part of Star Wars tradition. I always say
yeah,
that.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Rise of Skywalker is. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of like just ruined it. It's
Yeah.
rare that a sequel would ruin other movies, you know.
Yeah.
Especially when
like,
it's the last one of like the
Yeah.
series, and it's just like basically
so
like
it makes
oops on all of
like
them.
it makes
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi useless, you know, like nothing happened.
It makes them all
For the-
useless.
Yeah.
all of that was all for nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Luke's
That's
battle
like
was
the
Although-
pointless.
thing.
That little
ever.
fan, but you've seen the fan edit though, where someone's edited Anakin Skywalker stepping into with Rey and what's his name, Kylo Ren, taking on the Emperor on Palpatine, and then someone's now edited in Anakin Skywalker done this re-edit of how Anakin is in fact there to defeat the Emperor at the end. It's like that's the way this story should have gone. They should have done something.
And for Brent, who doesn't like fan edits,
Yeah,
it's crazy. See,
Yeah, I
this
know,
is,
go
this is
figure.
how upside down everything is.
I know. Go figure.
Brent like being
But
all
then-
on board for a fan edit.
Yeah. But there's definitely different ways that the Rise of
Yeah,
Skywalker
I
should have
think
ended,
that's
and none of them were
good
right.
Like
Yeah.
all the Jedi should have been there.
Yeah.
That the voices that they hear, they all should have popped up.
Oh yeah, they should have been
Like
the
a
ones
Mace
that
Windu and
yeah,
Obi-Wan,
but
Anakin.
led by like I mean
So-
Anakin Skywalker to prove that he's the most powerful Jedi of all of them. Then he has to have mastered
But he was-
the
How it should have been the chosen one.
Oh, that's it. Yeah,
They
exactly. Yeah,
maintained that he
yeah.
was the chosen one.
That he if
Anything, he was-
Anakin
like,
yeah.
because the way they ended it, Anakin
Yeah.
was nothing but a hiccup in
Right.
Palpatine's story.
exactly
You know,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
all he was.
No, that's it. Yeah, he should have
But by
been.
doing-
He
by
should have
having
mastered
him at the
the ghost realm. He should have
Yeah.
like that would be a way for him to have been the most powerful Jedi of all time. Was the fact that he mastered the Force ghost realm and that entire thing. That is the way that he becomes the most powerful Jedi, and then it is him who has to save the kids. You know, Kylo and Rey, because.
Did
He's-
that
he's-
movie
yeah.
destroy J.J. Abrams' career? Has he done anything since?
JJ is actually technically producing
like-
the Batman animated series is coming up.
He quietly stepped down as director.
Yeah,
now
but like,
Yeah.
like I feel like his name is
As a
talked,
director.
because of that. Because look, his name's not
Yeah.
even on the post.
Well, it's. I mean, there's a lot of people that enjoyed the Star Trek films too that he did, but there's a lot
Wait,
of
that's
people
before
that were,
this though. That was way
No,
before any
but
of this.
but I'm saying, but where I'm going is that he's had this slow decline of taking genre films and kind of not.
And I think Rise of
still
Skywalker,
making money off them, but doing
Rise of Skywalker was the
Yeah.
nail.
yeah.
Like he
Yeah.
hasn't, his name hasn't been.
Yeah,
I haven't
you're
seen his name attached to anything since. I think he's too toxic
Yeah.
for Hollywood right now because of how
Yeah.
bad Rise of Skywalker was. But like
Probably, yeah.
he gets death threats. Yeah, it's a lot of people who work for Star Wars though.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's the point. There's a lot of people that get that.
They'll even death threat children.
Heck, even the fans who actually talk about the stuff they like get death threats, it seems, and abused and all that. So,
Watch out, Brent. Watch
Sorry,
out,
I
Brent.
can't react to Jedi dying. in
I've had a
life.
few people. I've had a few people in the. I've had a few people who've really made.
Oh,
an issue
Chad,
about
those are
things.
just,
I've just
those are just
yeah.
haters. Those are
It's like
just idiots.
that's what the delete button's for.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact is, it's a movie, folks. It's just
But-
have fun,
but back
enjoy
to,
it.
Like JJ's
what-
career, it's ruined now, right? Would you agree?
No, I wouldn't say it's ruined. I just say he's moved on because he was focusing on focusing on his company
Last thing he's
anyway.
done. What is the last thing he's directed since?
Yeah.
Look this up, man. I think it did. I think it fucked up his career, dude.
I don't think it fucked up his career because he still has a continual career.
He
He's
does.
still
I'm not saying
producing,
it's like
but, yeah.
his career's gone, but it's not where it was.
But he was putting more
You know,
focus onto the
he's-
company anyway with the time. But that's what happened.
No,
But
but he used to be. You used to mention his name, and people are like, "Oh shit, that's cool." But
Sure.
after Rise of Skywalker, I think his name has been tainted.
but
by that,
one of the reasons he passed up doing the remaining of the Star Wars films because he did The Force Awakens and directed that. But the reason was at that point in time, if I remember rightly, was that he was focusing on putting his attention back into his company. At that point, he did a big dealership with Warner Brothers for 10 new movies and show-related stuff. Some of that is also
name
since
one
fallen.
of those
But
movies.
Batman the Animated Series was one of them, in fact, that he was actually in connection with. But a lot of that had fallen apart since his point in time too. So yes, he had some ups and downs, but he was related to company-related stuff that he was trying to do with the company, not as much of him as a director going on and doing other things. I'm not trying to defend him anyway because I think there's some stuff that he's done that's fun, but I also acknowledge the stuff that doesn't work in that sense too. So
Yeah, I just haven't seen. I just think like his name isn't worth.
film A24, directed by J.J.
I just think after Rise of Skywalker, his name isn't as valuable as it used to be.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
I
And
agree.
think it's kind of done like a
Yeah.
huge impact on him because he's done stuff since,
Yeah,
but like nothing is big. He was
well,
like
nothing. He hasn't directed anything since. Yeah,
no, he hasn't directed anything since.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at his IMDb, everything that I recognize like one out of the 20 things that I see on here.
Right.
And I haven't seen. He's just producers.
Yeah.
He's laying low, man. He's waiting for
Waiting for a
Again,
project.
that's why I say he went,
attached to.
but he did go. Again, I'm telling you exactly what it was though. He had plans to direct the Force Awakens out, and that was originally it, because he wanted to.
I know all that.
And that's well, I just said that. That's why I'm saying that's what his plan was anyway. But because of the mess that happened, he was pulled back, and he had no choice to. And that was also another mistake.
And by doing that, it ruined his career.
I don't think it ruined his career by any manner of means. I think it just simply put him on a point where he's like, you know what, I need to focus on my company, and it's as simple as that. Anyway, guys, we've been going for an hour, 25 minutes. Everyone out there in the chat, if you've been watching there, thank you. If you stayed around this long, wow, you've got such stamina.
Anchorman, I like Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. I think those are solid movies.
Yep.
They got their flaws, like all Star Wars.
Anyway, guys.
It's an abomination, though.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, there was things that
ruined
definitely
his
were. All right,
name.
guys.
yeah.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, it ruined the scene. Anyway, so guys, yeah, thanks for joining us. If you're out there in chat, if you're out there watching afterwards, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you survived this long, again, congratulations, you have massive willpower. And thanks, guys. We will catch you all later. We'll be doing another reaction also on Tuesday. We'll drop it with the Acolyte, episode 7, our big flashback scene. We're going to get a lot of the story told to us, and I think that's going to be good. And we shall catch you all later. Thanks, guys. See you later.